Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully you are having an awesome Wednesday, hump day. So we are actually going to take this to another level when it comes to solving equations. So what we're looking at is we're going to be solving some literal equations. So they always give you a couple questions like this. They'll give you a formula, be it like the area of a circle, or sometimes it may actually be the equation of a line, or even like, say, the area of a trapezoid, something like that. But instead of you solving it for what the traditional x or y or f of x that they're giving you, they want you to solve it using one of the variables that's in that equation. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And what our main thing is, we're trying to isolate that desired variable. So that is our goal. Bam, put it right here. So all we're trying to do is isolate that variable. Whatever the variable that they're giving us, that's what we are going to isolate. So we do have a gifts goal. See if we can get those red roses. If you're willing to give a little bit of sparing, I would appreciate it. But as you guys are coming in, go ahead and tap away so we can get to our 1K and we can get started. Hello, John. I see that you are back. Welcome back. Welcome in, everyone. Okay, even Sheesh is here. Is that Ira? Ira Nix. Welcome on in here. And I don't know where you guys are, but I'm sweating profusely. I'm getting a little sick and tired of this heat. It's funny. During the winter, we're like, oh my God, I wish I was somewhere warm. Now, when you're finally somewhere warm, you're like, you know what? Last winter wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. All right. So go ahead and keep on tapping. We're going to keep on going. Welcome on in, everyone. Thank you for joining. If you know of anyone that is thinking of getting their GED, or they're thinking of doing the ASVAB, or even the AccuPlacer, or maybe they're currently taking a college algebra class, this is going to be the live for you. Maybe you just want to take a little revision. You haven't seen this in multiple years, and your kids are, if they're taking Algebra 1, there is definitely going to be a question like this on there. So go ahead and share on up. All right. Hey, Danny. How are you? Hey, Nicole. Welcome back. All right. So as promised, thank you so much for the taps. So this is what we're looking at. Let me see if I can zoom in a lot. So we have d over t equals r. So distance over time equals rate. Okay, so it's one of those versions of the distance formulas. But they want us to solve it for t. That means they want, you see how r is by itself? They want t to be by itself on one side of the equation. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get that t over there. So this is when the whole of rules of integers and solving equations are going to be useful. So as long as you remember that the inverse of addition is subtraction, the inverse of multiplication is division, you should be able to handle all this. Okay, I know it's going to seem weird because you're like, where's the numbers? All we're doing is rearranging it so we can get the expression to equal what they want us to equal. So one of the things that you can do is we have division. So I know we're trying to get rid of the t, but sometimes we might have to do some manipulating. See if I can speak today. So since this is division, I need to do the inverse, which is multiplication. So I'm always going to multiply by whatever the denominator is. And in this case, it's the t. So here on the left side of the equation, t divided by t will cancel out. So now what's coming on down is your D equals your R times the T. But since we're trying to solve for T, that means we want T to be by itself. It doesn't matter which side, okay? As long as T is by itself, that's the ultimate goal. So now we have R times T. So the inverse of multiplication is division. And you're probably saying, well, didn't we just divide already? Or didn't we just multiply on one side? Yes, you did. But the reason this time we want to solve for T. So you're going to divide both sides by R. Because R divided by R will give me 1. And I don't need the 1 because I still have my T. So you have T and it equals my D over R. Now, of course I'm going to show you there's a shortcut. I wouldn't be me if I didn't. Now, if we had the original equation, I'm going to slide this over for a moment. I'm going to use this space. So our original equation is D over T equals R. So instead of going through, now if they want you to show the work, go right ahead. But remember, if it's going to be for GED, for ASVAB, for Accuplacer, they don't care how you get your answer as long as you click the right A, B, C, D, or some places E. So in this case, the variable that I'm looking to solve is in the denominator. And I want to take basically the place of where this variable is. So why not just simply switch it? Just switch it. So because you know eventually you're going to multiply both sides and then you're going to divide both sides by R, why don't you just take your D, switch the T and the R to get my T? And that works when you have a denominator. And then the whole number, if you want to feel comfortable by putting it over 1, you can do that and treat it as a proportion. You can do that. All right. Okay. Good. Hello, Reed. How are you? All right. So let's try another one. So if we had AX plus B equals C, and we want to solve, let's say solve for A. Okay, we want to solve for A. What do you think I would have to do first? Okay, so Danny's saying I'm going to subtract the B on both sides. Okay. Because what we're trying to do, we're trying to get A by itself. All right. So when we subtract B, as you can see, positive B and a negative B, that cancels out to give me 0, but we don't need the placeholder of 0 because we still have AX on that opposite side. But what's going to be over here is my C minus my B. If you're one of those people that like to put it in alphabetical order, and you want to do negative B plus C, you can do that as well. But make sure if you're looking at multiple choice, see what it's offering. After you do this whole subtracting B on both sides, see what's being offered as options for your multiple choice. Okay? All right? So if I'm trying to solve this for A, what should I do next? So if I'm trying to solve for A, what should I do next? Hey Janice, how are you? Okay, Bella's got that. Bella's saying divide by 7, by x. It's going to be one of those nights. All right, divide by x. There you go with Newman. Okay, so 8ax, that's multiplication. Inverse of multiplication is division. Since we're trying to keep A, we're going to, whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. X's are going to cancel. So that means we're going to have our A equals, and we get to keep it, which will be my C minus B over X. So you're just basically rearranging the formula using those properties, okay, for integers. All right, thank you so much for follows, guys. Appreciate it. And for the taps and coming on in, yeah. Okay, so this next one is one of the most frequently used ones for some of these tests. So we have a capital A, then we have A plus B divided by 2, and we want to solve for B. Oops. Okay. Hey Robert, how are you? Okay. Let me give you a little time. Are you traveling right now, or did you reach your destination? I saw one of your posts. I think it was Facebook. I think it was. And when you're ready to share your answer, go ahead and put it in the post. Just put it in the chat. And if you're not sure, put a question mark. Because remember, question marks are answers too. All right. Okay. So you're saying cross multiply? Okay. And hi, Kaya. Sorry. I didn't even say hi to you. I'm like, okay, cross multiply. Just go ahead answering. All right. So this is what we're trying to do. Good. All right, excellent. Nice. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get rid. Oh, thank you. Love that. We're trying to get rid of that denominator. So when I have a fraction, that means division. So the inverse or the opposite of division is multiplication. So if I multiply both sides by whatever my denominator is, I know that's going to help me. Say 2 divided by 2, that gives me a 1. So by multiplying the left side, I get 2a. And then on the right side, I simply get my a plus b, because the 2's will cancel out. So remember, we're trying to solve this for b. So that means, why capital A? Good question. Capital A means area. Yes, capital A means area. And supposedly A and B means like a couple of sides, either length or width, or really bases. But okay, so that's why they use a capital A to represent area. Okay. So now, if we're trying to get B, what do we need to do to get our B by itself? Okay, trap. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. But there's no capital A in the original? Yes, there is. It's right here. No, we cannot combine capital A with the lowercase a. Nope. Thank you for laughing. Divide both sides by 2? No, not divide both sides by 2. Okay, we want to subtract the A. There it is. We want to subtract that A. Good. All right. So when we subtract this A minus A will cancel out to give me 0, but I don't need the 0 because we still have that B being represented. So now our final answer will be our 2 capital A minus lowercase a. And now it's solved for B. Okay. It's been a very long time. Yes, it has. All right. Okay, so we see the process. So whatever the variable that we're looking for, they're basically, this really, in a way, they're trying to use it as like a trapezoid. But they decided to use A and B instead of base 1 and base 2. But when it comes to whatever they're looking for, you're using your skills of solving to simplify and to basically get that variable that you want by itself. All right, that was a little too easy. All right, so let's see if we can get it up to, because it's going to be a very short live, like very short. I have here roughly almost like 8 examples. So when I say this is going to be a short live, it's going to be a short live. But I'm going to try to hit on the ones that are usually most used in a lot of assessments. Okay, so this one, they use that quite often. Sometimes they use this whole distance, time, rate. Sometimes they use that as well. But the next one I'm about to do, they definitely use it almost religiously. It's disgusting. So we're going to do that. All right. Let's see. What level math is this? Oh, I don't mind you asking. This is basically Algebra 1. Yep, when they do this alliteration, it's usually Algebra 1. Oh, I would have changed your life if I was your teacher. Oh, that's sweet. Why? What you doing now? Now, if you were reckless and about on the way to jail, yeah, I'll just be sitting right next to you teaching you math, just trying to pass the time. I'm not trying to go to jail, but like I always say, we are all one situation away from being locked away. In college at 50? Okay. And this, I know, seriously. We are all one situation away. All right. Okay, so there's another person that's in college at 50. Look. And that's okay. But see, that's the best thing about life. You're always learning. Once you stop wanting to learn, your life is over. Seriously. Even if it's like, let me learn how to crochet, you're learning something. Let me learn how to change an oil filter. You're learning something. Doing something that's not so much the norm, it's a wonderful thing. You know, that's what life's about. Like, you're taking your pain and putting it into a purpose, but having an open mind, wanting to try something new, that's awesome. I think it's wonderful. Yeah, seriously, exactly. Going into your college. Yep, 44 in college, that's fine. But see, think about how much experience you have now. Think about how much experience you have. Compared to when you were at college age, all you were thinking about was how to get the guys to like you or how to get the girls to like you, how to be popular, like how to do a cake stand with just your forehead and no hands, mom. Like, that's what everyone was doing. Like, can you really get entertained off of cold medicine? Yep, I've seen it with my own two eyes. So, you know, we did a whole lot of stupid stuff back then. But we survived. We survived. And got literally come off a bender just to go into class to sit there. Okay, let me do this one. You like go to a rave. See, you guys don't know about raves. I don't think you guys do. But go to a rave, come out, sun beaming. You're like the Walking Dead, but just in time for you to go to class or go to work. Yeah. And then do it all over again the following night. It's hilarious. Yes, good. See, that's awesome. Dennis, I love that. Dennis and Nisa, love that. Yep, we are all students of life. Yes, raves. Now, they use this example almost on every standardized test. Every blessed single one of them. And trust me, when you go and you sit down and you take your GED or your ASVAB and you see this problem, I want you to giggle. I want you to seriously giggle. Because you're going to be like, she told me that was going to be on there. Yep, they always use it. Now, we want to solve this for F. Okay, so we want F by itself. But right now, F is with this minus 32, and it's surrounded by a 5/9, and then there's an equal C. Like, this is crazy. So, what we can do, and it depends on you, you can solve this one of two ways. There's probably a third way, but I want to keep it as basic and a way that you can understand that you can apply it right away. So I know when we see a parenthesis, we cannot combine F and negative 32. They're not like terms. But I know some people will probably say, you could probably distribute that. Okay. Oh, I don't teach at a school anymore. I used to. Spent 22 years. Feel like I just got out of prison. I don't know how I got into the prison, but I remember my release date. So now I have my own online tutoring business. So I tutor students all over the place, like Alaska. At one point I was in Nairobi, Kenya, and like a couple years ago I was in Cairo, Egypt, and California, Texas, Florida, both the Carolinas, Washington State, obviously Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Vermont, Massachusetts, Ohio. I'm probably missing one. Virginia. Almost forgot about Virginia. So yeah, I'm everywhere. Okay? I am in the U.S. Yes, I am. Yes, yes. That school to prison pipeline. Yep. Yep. All right. So, if I want to distribute, so then let me bring down, I'm going to put it two ways. I'm going to put it over here for this one. So if I have C equals, then when I distribute that 5/9, I have 5 over 9 F, okay, minus, because this 5/9 is positive and the 32 is negative. Positive times a negative gives me a negative. So now we need to figure out, because this 32 is a whole number, and obviously 5/9 is a fraction. If you want, you can make this whole number into a fraction without losing its value by putting it over 1. So I know I like to cross simplify. So I look at the 32 and the 9. That doesn't work. If that 9 was an 8, yeah, we could do something with that. But it's not. So that means we have to multiply straight across. So that'll be 32 times 5. So that's what, 160? We'll use the red pen. So this will be 160 over 9. Okay. Sticking to everything. Hey, Creation, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, they're looking for teachers. Oh, I know. Everyone's looking for teachers. ARW. What's an ARW teacher? What is that? Maybe I do know it and I'm just not used to the terminology. Not like terms. Stuff here already now. Okay. So we have like numbers. What numbers? Is that what we're talking about? Kind of like lost in the sauce here. Okay. Do we need to register LLC for online tutoring? I don't know. It's depending on how you want to do online tutoring. Okay, you said F and negative 32 were not like terms. Yes, because F is a variable. Well, not really a variable, but it's Fahrenheit. And 32 is a number, so we can't combine those two. Now, we're trying to solve for F. So from here, we can subtract, and I'm going to keep it like this because this is more of my exact. Because if I do the division of this, it's going to give me a decimal, and that means I'm going to be rounding. And I don't want to do any rounding. So let's leave it as an improper fraction. I know it's almost like it goes against your religion, but work with me. So that means we're going to add 160 over 9 on both sides. Okay, so that means we have our 160 over 9, and this is going to be our plus C, equals our 5/9 F. So we're trying to solve this for F. What do you think we should do next? What should we do next? Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. We can divide. I see what you're saying. We can divide by 5/9. Now, if I had... Let me use this paper for a second. So I have my 160 over 9 divide by 5/9. Okay? That looks like a double-decker hamburger. That's all kinds of crazy. It's like, what? Huh? It looks crazy. So instead of us, especially when you're dealing with fractions, instead of us dividing, let's do this. Let's multiply by its reciprocal. What is she saying? So since we're here, we want to get rid of this 5/9. And the best way that we can do it is we can multiply by its reciprocal, which is 9 over 5. Okay? Whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other. And the reason why you multiply by the reciprocal, because if I want to cross simplify, I have 5 over 5. So 5 divided by 5, dude, that gives me 1. Then we have 9 divided by 9. 9 divided by 9, that also gives me 1. So the only thing that's going to be left over here is your f. And that's what we want. But then you have this fun stuff over here. What's happening over here? Okay. So you're saying the 32. So Houston, make sure it's 160 over 9, not 165. Okay. So here, we're going to have to distribute. Okay, so don't just multiply the 9/5 to the 160 over 9. Because we also got to multiply that 9/5 to the c. So if I may, we have c and we have 9/5 c right here. But we can cross simplify. 9 divided by 9, that gives us 1. But now 160 divided by 5, that's possible. Because of 5 times tables, we deal with 5s and 0s, right? So I know I can do plus. If I use 3, I got a remainder of 1, bring down the 0, and you got my 2. Okay, so it's going to be 32 plus 9/5 c. That's how you go from Celsius to Fahrenheit. And they always use that formula. They always use that formula. Because we got to distribute that 9/5. Good. You do get your 32. Good evening. I'm pretty good at sine, cosine, and tangent. Actually, I did sine and cosine and tangent. I think it was a couple nights ago. Last night? I don't know. My nights and my days are just blending together, dudes. Like, this is getting ridiculous. It is getting ridiculous. Okay. So, as I said, there is more than one way. So this is one way. So I'm going to put this as a dashed line. Okay. Another way, before we go to our next problem, is here's my original, which we have C equals 5/9 of F, minus 32. So since 5/9 is being multiplied to the F minus 32, the opposite of multiplication is division. But instead of dividing 5/9 on both sides, we can multiply by its reciprocal. Early on. Yep, right early. Okay, because what's going to happen, 5s are going to cancel out, the 9s are going to cancel out. So now we have our 9/5 C equals F minus 32. And since we want to get F by itself, we could add 32 on both sides. Negative 32 and positive 32 is going to cancel out. And then we're given the 9/5 C plus 32 is equal to F. Okay, so there's two separate ways that will give you the same answer. Okay, if you want to put the 32 in front, you can as well. Can't see? That is zoomed out. Okay. Better. Thank you. Not a problem. Woo! Sorry, there's a whole bunch of stuff on my desk. It's been a busy day. All right. So how to work this out when you have to input numbers? Well, it all depends on what you have to input. So if they say input, I don't know, if you want to figure out how many degrees Fahrenheit, say it's like 28 degrees or 28 degrees Celsius overseas. So you will plug in the 28 for the C in order to figure out the Fahrenheit. Because when you hear someone's talking about overseas, like, oh, it was 28. It was a little warm. And you're like, what? For 28? So you're looking at, let's see how I can get it. So you have 9 divided by 5. Oops. That was weird. Okay, so if you had your 9/5, you multiply that by 28, and then we're going to add the 32. So 28 degrees Celsius is equivalent to 82.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's a nice little warm day. And I don't know if they're anything like what we're dealing with right now. They're probably in the 30s. 40 years. You need a refresher? Well, welcome in. Oh, you passed your math? Nice. Good job, princess. Congratulations. Aw, let's go, girl. That's awesome. Okay. Perfect. Let's show some princess a little love, guys. Passing a test is not easy. Thank you, Michael. Good job. No, you put in the work. I was just here trying to give you guys shortcuts. That's all I'm good for. I'm just kidding. Okay. Ooh, do I? Oh, thank you. That's an honor. Yeah, she's one of my favorite actresses. Growing up, it was Cicely Tyson. She was one of my favorites. She was in every movie back in the day. That was back in the 70s, early 80s. Like every time you turn around, there's Cicely. There she go again. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, if we can keep on tapping, can we get to like 13? There's roughly 170 of us here. We can see if we can get up to 169. Get back here. 170. Where are you going? School class is not over. I will never forget the first time. No, I don't want to say the first time I taught this, but the first time that I did this when I was working at, well, we called it baby bookings, but it's the juvenile justice system. And I was actually teaching the students how to basically rearrange everything. And one of the COs was like, wait a minute, how y'all doing this without numbers? This is crazy. And he got on the walkie and he told he's like, yo, if there's any COs that's not doing anything, come down here because you got to see this. And these kids are just churning out answers. And it was the most hilarious, but it was the most satisfying thing that I ever done. Because there was these young men, a lot of people just think that they're just stupid because they're in there. And I'm like, no, they did stupid stuff to get themselves in there. They listened to the wrong person. They figured that, hey, you're a kid, you're just going to get a slap on the wrist and we can put you back on the street. So basically they're using a lot of these young men. And when they were seeing the kids or the young men break down these concepts, and then I was one of those teachers. I was like, look, go ahead, put it on the board. He's like, what? I'm like, can he get up and put it on the board? And the CEO, but like, yeah. And he's like, you know what to do. And they respected my room to the point that, because I respected them. And when they were doing it, they're like, damn, you smart. So why's your dumb ass here? Like every time. But I'm like, all right, can we not call them dumb while they're in this classroom? Like any other classroom, I have no control. But in this one, can we not? So, we had to deal with the CEOs, and they never called them dumb when they were in here. And they flourished. A couple of them got their GEDs, a couple of them, because they said they can't go back to their own schools. So I just feel like everyone can learn, regardless of how old. I mean, if I had some CEOs in there, they're like, yo, give me some paper. Let me see if I can figure this out. I got you. Like, I feel like I got you. So every time I do this, it always brings me back to those moments. Okay. Oh, did you? Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, well, thank you. All right, here's another one that they use a lot as well. And thank you. I know it's like 12.5, but I will take that. They always use this formula as well. I mean, it's so warm, I'm just like sticking to the paper. I'm trying not to drip over the paper. How gross is that? I'm so sorry. Yeah. And it's like, I know school's gonna go back, and you may see some less students in your classrooms, but just, for the most part, when you first start that first week of school, they don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. So as long as you guys have a mutual understanding and just say, look, we got to get work done. And what we're going to do is let's get this done. And then I'm going to give you a moment because you guys have to transition in. And they'll respect you for that. But at the same time, don't be a pushover. Just have them respect your space. I respect your space. You respect my space. That's it. Don't bombard them with all the rules. This is the rules of the classroom. They don't care. They really don't. Just talk to them, especially if they're older. Now, younger, you got to put rules in. Now, we're trying to solve I equals P R T. This is really P times R times T. And we want to solve this equation for R. GED, that's basically like a 2-point question. Okay, this is like around a 2-point question. The previous one with the Celsius, that would be like either a 3 or 4-point question. Okay, so what would I do to get R by itself? So we're trying to solve it for R. I feel like a pirate. R. What can we do? Okay, so Pog is saying divide PT. JK is saying divide. Yep. Now, you could divide the P and then you divide the T. Why? Come on, we don't have time. So, since this is all multiplication over here, it's perfectly fine to combine the P and the T. Whatever I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other side. Okay? So that means the P's will cancel out, giving me a 1, and the T's will cancel out and give me a 1. But I don't need the 1 because I got 1 R, or just R. So now you have your I over your capital P, T. This is solved for R. That's how you know when you can stop. When the variable that you're looking for is by itself on one side of the equation. All right. So this is the equation. The original is the equation for simple interest. I is representing your interest. P is your principal. R is your rate as a true decimal, not as a percent. And T is your time. Okay. Hey, Justin, how are you? What is this math tutoring for? To help people as a refresher, also to help with GED, ASVAB, AccuPlacer. Okay, T's test. I've been helping quite a few people with T's test, which is awesome. There's a lot of people that want to be nurses. But here's my thing, my loves, and I'm going to say this out of pure, unadulterated love as I put my smooth jazz voice on. If you can't multiply, it's going to be hard for you to pass that test. Real facts. If you can't multiply, it's going to really be hard for you to pass that test. Now, am I the person that's going to stand in your way and say, yeah, you can't do it, you should give up now? No, that's not me. I will encourage, but it's going to take a lot more than you wanting to help people to become a nurse. Okay? I know you're probably like, oh, when am I going to need this geometry? I don't need all this stuff. Look, this is how they decipher who stays and who leaves. If you want to get into that program, stay in that program and push through, this is what you got to do. You need to know your multiplication facts. Okay? You have to. All right? Totally spoken out of love, not to make you feel small or anything, just real facts. Okay. Praxis? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This will definitely help with praxis. About compound interest? Yep. I've done compound interest before. Another one that they use quite a bit for is y equals mx plus b. And they want you to solve for m. Can we do it? Not for today. Yep, all I'm doing is this. So today is going to be a short live. And when you're ready to put your answer in, go ahead and put your answer in the chat. And if you're not sure what to do first, go ahead and put a question mark in. You know, be honest. Should be a safe space. Okay. So, is that Jake Cohen? Saying negative B. Texas T is saying y minus b over x. Okay. VSM saying y minus b over x. Are you going to divide mx plus b on both sides? Not the whole thing, because we want to solve for m. Okay, Eric, thank you for your honesty. Appreciate that. Okay, Kai saying y minus b over x. And then you divide by x. Good. Okay, Ramona. Hello, Ramona. Welcome back. So y minus b over x, period. How are you? Y minus b over x. All right, DJ KO. How often do you actually use this? For slope, I use this every blessed day. Maybe because I'm a math tutor. But especially trying to figure out if you're traveling, especially if you're a truck driver and you're traveling like long distance and you have to go up those steep hills and you're trying to figure out your gradient, that's slope. Okay, if you can go up this hill or not. Yep. Good. I'm doing okay. Hello, Olivia. Yeah, I'm wondering what happened to everybody. I was a little pissed off. Had to come and calm down. Like, no one showed up. Like, no one? That was weird. I was like, wait, am I in the wrong part? And I'm like, no. Like, no one showed up. No call. No nothing. Felt like a jilted lover just sitting by the phone. Waiting. That's all right. It's okay. All right. So if we subtract this b on both sides, over here I'm going to have y minus b equals my mx. Because positive b and negative b, they canceled out. Then we're solving for m. So this is m times x. The opposite of times, or the inverse of times, is division. So we're dividing everything by x. Okay, so our official answer would be y minus b over x is equal to m. Family stuff. I know. It seems like everybody's dealing with family stuff nowadays. Well, I can understand, especially if you have, kids that are school age, like you're trying to get everything situated. Some people are trying to find that last vacation before school starts. So I get it. Okay. You say this is kind of useless? Aw, why? Why you say it's useless? Because I love when people say, because I've never used it. And I'm like, but have you lived? Have you lived? Lived on the edge, tried to do something new? Okay. Can you be in my brain when I take my test? Honey, when are you taking your test? Honey's boo. When are you taking your test? Okay. Brilliant. I don't see any higher degrees. Okay. Well, just because it doesn't have higher degrees doesn't mean that it's useless. You always have to start somewhere. Okay? You always have to start with the foundation. Can't just go straight to higher degrees. Okay? Gotta build up that courage. Please invite me up. No, I don't do that. Sure, we're going to see you tomorrow. Okay, cool. I'll be here for in the next couple of weeks. Mine's in November, I hope. Okay. Enlighten me? Trust me, I don't need to be enlightened. I was married. That's all the enlightenment I needed. I don't need any more enlightenment. I am so good. Yeah, I think that's how I got the ring. Well, let me enlighten you. Yeah. Talk about waste. All right. Hey, Amber. Phone stuck in 1 degree for like 5 years. Well, I'm not going to be here all day. So true, right? System of equations. Okay, so you're stuck on those. I'll try to do systems. I'll do them tomorrow. I will try to do them tomorrow. All right, there is, let's see. Let's try this one. Okay. All right. Okay, give this one a try. Give this one a try. And then I have 2 more, and then I am done for tonight. Yep. Well, I have to go to bed early because I have to get my workout in so when I come home I can take a shower, because the city decides they're doing some kind of construction, so they're turning the water off. So I definitely need to go to bed early so I can get everything that I need to get done. Make sure the laundry is completely done. Make sure, anything that needs water, and I have like some backup water just in case. I know. I sound like I'm like living in the woods somewhere like Swiss Family Robinson, but I'm not. I'm in the friggin' city. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay. All right. So you're thinking of no solution? Nah. Well, we're not solving it. I mean, I know it says solve for P, but we're solving it. We're rearranging this equation so it'll equal P instead of D. So it's not like a no solution type of situation. Is P prime? No, P's not prime. I think P means principal. I think this is the formula for some kind of discount, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. There you go. So 5/11 times D plus 15. We could use PEMDAS here. But inside the parentheses, they're not like terms. P is a variable, whereas 15 is a number. Okay. All right. Yep, so just solving symbolically. There you go, D-Crash. How you doing? I'm trying to think. I want to say distance. I haven't seen this formula in a minute. I want to say either distance or discount. But that's a good question. I'm going to look it up. See if I can add it into my video descriptions. All right, so I see a couple. I saw 1 or 2. No. Do not change the fraction to a decimal. It will make your life so much easier as a fraction. Okay. So let's take a gander, or you want me to leave you alone to work out a little bit more? Well, period, you're about to lose your damn mind. You're gonna go insane. Like insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. You never lie? Man, you've been lying ever since you got on my thing. And I never lie. Mm-hmm. You know I'm giving you a side eye, right? You know I'm giving you a side eye. Yeah, don't be afraid of fractions. Fractions are friends, not food. Is it? Oh, and you're still here. You make my life so entertaining. Takes you way back, Bradley. Back in the day. Back in the day. All right, so we're trying to solve for P. So we can do one of two things. We can either distribute the 11/5, okay? And the reason why I say leave it as a fraction, because if you multiply the 11/5 with the negative 15, the 15 and the 5 in the denominator, they can be simplified, okay? Which would have gave you a negative 3, and then you have 11 times negative 3, which would have given you negative 33. So that's why I'm saying leave it as a fraction. Because if you put it as a decimal, you're going to have to, basically you're giving me the approximation. And we don't want approximation. So if you don't believe me, so we have 11 divided by 5. Okay, this gives us a decimal. And now we're going to have to figure out how to calculate this decimal with the negative 15. Okay, so we can times it by negative 15 and you'll get your negative 33, right? But here's the thing. You won't be able to use this bad boy on your test. That's the part that a lot of people keep forgetting. All right, if you practice using it with the calculator, it's going to hurt you. I'm just letting you know, it's going to hurt you. So another way, since we're just trying to isolate and solve for P, we could multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 11/5. 5 over 11. Got me distracted. Okay, so 5 over 11. Because what happens is the 5s will cancel out and the 11s will cancel out. So that means over here, you're going to have 5 over 11 D equals P minus 15. Okay, since this was multiplication, and this is a fraction, that's why you multiply by its reciprocal. And now all I have to do is add 15 on both sides. So when I add 15 on both sides, I get 5/11 D plus 15 equals P. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. Okay. Yeah. So even if you divide both sides by 11/15 or 11/5, it always looks crazy to me. Because remember we were talking about that earlier? Well, maybe you weren't here yet. So when you break it down, it looks crazy when you try to do it by dividing a fraction. So that's why we multiply by its reciprocal. So that means you would have had your 1/60, but you're going to times by not 5/9, but by 9/5. Okay, then you were able to cancel out and simplify. All right. So it gives you a nice, clean feel. Yep. I know. It's all kinds of fun. Will you be doing this on here when my 8-year-old gets into high school? God willing. God willing. I mean, I don't know. It's already bad enough that some of my former students are starting to come up to me and say, "Hey, Miss Audrey, my son needs help. Can you?" I was like, "Your son?" "Yeah, he's going to be a freshman in high school." "Say what? How long? I remember I taught you in high school." I mean, I'm old, but damn. All right. So we have that. We have P times 1 plus RT. And we're going to solve for T. Okay. This will be our last one. What do we got, King John? Multiplied by the what? So I love how you saying this is why kids are confused, because I don't explain why I multiply by the... Complete your sentence, man. There you go. Why do I multiply by the reciprocal? Because when you have a fraction being multiplied by a reciprocal, it's going to give you an answer of 1. Think about it. 1/2, the reciprocal is 2 over 1. So when you multiply that, you get 2 over 2, and 2 over 2 gives you 1. Okay? It's the yin and yang of mathematics. Okay? You feel better in your soul? All right. So Olivia is saying multiply P by 1 plus that. Okay, good. Not really multiplying. This is what that P is doing. It's multiplying by that 1 plus RT. Okay. What's the inverse of multiplication, though? There you go. All right, so that's what we can do. Let's divide both sides by the P, because P divided by P gives me 1. So now we have our capital A over our lowercase p, and it equals 1 plus RT. So we're trying to solve for T. What should we move next? What should we move next? Okay, so subtracting 1 on both sides. Period says minus 1. Okay, the 1, Michael, thank you. Olivia minus 1, good. All right, I want to make sure. So when I subtract the 1 on both sides, it'll be easier for me to state it as capital A over P minus 1, and then I have it equals RT. So we're trying to solve for T. What should I do next? Okay. Then divide R, says Michael. Okay. All right, so we're trying to solve for the T. So the T's not going anywhere. Okay. John saying divide R. Okay. All right. So not subtract R, because RT is multiplication. So we're going to divide both sides by R. So R divided by R, it will leave us with our T. So all together, it gives us a capital A over P minus 1 all over R. That's what equals T. Okay. you go. True. It does. It would look prettier. Okay. So I know it feels weird because you're doing all these little transformations from one stage to another, and you didn't have a number. They're all letters. But you see how you're still using those properties. The inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of division is multiplication. Okay? And instead of dividing by a fraction, multiply by its reciprocal. Okay? All right. This one, well, is usually raised to a variable. This is not compound interest. This is one of those interest problems. It's not compound interest. Okay. Oh, rude. This wouldn't be accepted. Clean it up. I can tell you were never breastfed. You need a hug, babe? Here we go. No, I don't have any more in me. I've been burning the midnight oil way too many times. Okay. Okay. Very few people can follow the script. True. Okay. You were nicer the first time? Oof. I don't know about that. Yeah. Plug the values back into the original to prove. Yes, you can. Thank you, Solomon. So many algebra students stopping here. Are you jealous? I'm just like, you guys are funny. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yes. So this is all we gotta do. You know what? It's fine. People just, it's getting hot. It's habit. I'm just really happy that I'm not living in Arizona right now. I saw some pictures of a friend that's down there, and the tires melting, and the person's hood of their car all bubbled up because it was like 115 degrees. How do you function? I can't even handle this little, what is it right now? It's 83 degrees, but in this room that I'm in right now, it's like definitely in the 90s. But it's like crazy. Taught too many for students to stop here because tutors stopped. Taught too many for students to stop here because tutors stopped. Okay, I'm trying to understand. About the summer. I know, right? I was saying the same thing. I was saying the same exact thing. Yeah, it really is that dry heat. Ugh. For us, it's the humidity. Ugh. Just swampy all the time. Hell on earth. Don't even visit Arizona. Yes. Yeah, of course. I do. Olivia, I'm not paying anybody any mind. I used to be a high school teacher, please. I am perfectly fine. But if anything, because, you know, oh, I know. Please. That's the name of the game. Hello, people. I'm a black woman living in the United States. I'm good. I'm used to it. You know, heck. The early stages of my teaching career was at a majority white school, and I was the only black female teacher. And the other black male teacher was the gym teacher. Yeah. Trust me. I'm good. So, yes. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. So, if anything, if you want, give me some time because sometimes it takes a while just to upload the video, the recordings. I put all of my recordings here from February 2nd. So all of my recordings, you just go here or you can type in my name. And if you want, you can just hit subscribe, like, comment, share, or even just turn on the notifications. These hours are relatively close to what we're doing here. So Monday through Thursday, I'll be here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fridays at 1 p.m. And then Saturday, well, hold on. Well, depends. I have like this one particular kid that loves what I'm doing. So, and then Saturday and Sunday, this might be 7 p.m. I'm not sure yet because I'm still waiting for a student to tell me what they want to do so I can get myself organized. All right. But if you need any assistance, hey, this is what I do. I do private and small group tutoring. I also have courses if you want to help you with the math for the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, TEAS, or maybe just even foundational algebra. If you have a child that needs to do their summer reading packet, ask them. Just ask them. And they're going to be like, yeah, but I don't know what to do. Just hire me. And we'll figure it out and we'll get them started before school starts. Now, for the notebooks, I designed my own little math notebook. So where it comes with the formula section, the step section, and then gives you sections to put all your practice problems. If your teacher has like a sheet that he or she wants you to have, you can tape it on this side, and then on this side you can summarize what is on that paper. So you don't have to go flipping all over the place. By you transferring the information, you're helping your brain to memorize and you're helping your brain to make connections. Now, on top of that, I have a resource page. So we have from 1 to 200, we have a factors chart. So all the factors from 1 to 200, because this book is designed for like 7th grade, that's going to Algebra 1, all the way up to adults that are taking college algebra, or maybe those intermediate math classes that to help you out. So if you want to learn how to break down your radicals, you want to get your factors so you can get your LCDs or your LCMs and your GCFs, all that. Also the reminder of the rules of integers. Then we have the order of operations and exponents. We also over here have our linear and our quadratic equations. And I don't want to skip over the most common words used in most word problems and what operation it stems from. So the other thing is the properties of transformation, a little bit of geometry there. Okay, so you have your area and perimeter and also circumference for the circle, as well as the volume, surface area, also area of sector, and then your arc length. And then the unit circle. That's going to be mostly for Algebra 2 and also pre-calculus. On top of the Pythagorean theorem and also your SOHCAHTOA, which we did last time, and other trig identities. So if you are interested in purchasing your own, it's 100 pages of this Cornell-inspired notebook. And if you're just like, you know what, Audrey, I like your notes. I want your notes. I love the colors. I love the organization. What can I do to get your notes? Well, let me show you, darlings. This is what's called Audrey's Notes. All right, my little play on Cliff Notes. Whereas you can get exact copies of my notes that I use for each and every live. So again, live from February the 2nd to, well, the ones that are out there until, I want to say May or June. And then what happens is if you look at the bottom or somewhere on there, there's a QR code. If you scan that QR code, it will take you directly to the live that's associated with that page. And I know I have 4 books out that's published right now. And if you want to get your copies of the books, you can go to the A. Can't really say the officially the name, but I only make like 50 cents per book when I do it the A. So I have my own personal bookstore, Books by Audrey Codner. So you can order your books. It takes about like a week for you to receive it, but it's still good quality. So either you can go to Books by or you can go here. All right. So, but be on the lookout for math workbooks. I'm going to try to get myself started with that as soon as I am done with the end of August. All right. All right. Well, thank you. Oh, and I'm also have a left-handed. I just released my left-handed one for Algebra 1. I'm working on the left-handed version for Algebra 2. So anyone that's a lefty, I got you. It's like a true left-handed book. So I'm waiting for mine to come in the mail so I can give you a sneak peek of how it looks. All right, and I did dedicate that to my father that has passed away, soon to be 9 years. Wow. Yeah. So August is always a rough month for me, but we're going to make it through. We're going to make it through. Yep, it's almost like a little study guide. So what I did was, all my step-by-step. It's almost like you're getting a tutoring service. So I just go through all the steps. Okay, go through all the steps here and then continue on. Yep, and take it step-by-step. And all you have to do is just scan this and it'll take you straight to directly to the live that I presented this. Yep. Dividing polynomials. I'm not sure if it was here or somewhere else. Someone asked me for that. So it's always a mixture. And then here's some more for sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, so a lot of those. And then circumference of circles. So it's always something different. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just popped up on your FYP. Whoa, well, welcome in. I'll take my books. Okay. If anything, before you get the books, let's chat so I can make sure that I'm giving you the right supplies. Because sometimes this might work for you, and sometimes you can be like, all right, this gives you a snippet, so might as well see if you want to do one-to-one tutoring, you might get a bigger value from that than from the books. So just to keep that in mind. The nursing, yeah, I've been doing a lot of people with nursing for the last couple weeks. Everybody's trying to get their tests, and I know everyone's is different. It's like we got the ATI, and then there is some N something, and I don't know. There's like so many. Oh, what was it? Hold on. Let's see which one. HESI. Yeah, HESI 2 was the other one. The T's test. Okay. Yep. A lot of the algebra components is the same for the T's test, the GED, the Accuplacer. The Accuplacer, they just go a little bit more in depth. And then for the military with the ASVAB, they have certain levels. Like the more, the better you're doing, the harder the test gets. And some people get to certain of those, gets to those certain levels. But, yeah. Oh, thank you. Same for you, Olivia. Same for you. It's never easy. It's never easy. Because I still have to, keep mom together every year. And it's just a constant reminder. Shipping usually is about a week. Yeah. If you order it through Amazon, I know it's a lot. I'm sorry, I said the A word. Sorry. But if you order it through them, you'll get it a little bit quicker. It is. Yep. You can just type in my name in the search and you'll see the whole list of all my books. The most recent ones, like the left-handed books, will not be on the A because they don't do left-handed books. You would think, no. Because they always put like an extra page and it's, no. So. Oh, you're right-handed? Yep, so you'll be fine. Yep, those books are there. My recent one isn't on there yet. I don't know what's taking them so long. So it's called the Ultimate Math Notebook. Yep, the Ultimate Math Notebook. And if you need the spelling of my name, it's the name on my profile. Yeah, I'm not as clever as some of you guys. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, thank you. Okay. Oh, nice. Thank you. See, I don't get any alerts when people are following me over there. I guess I have to go in depth. Well, thank you. Yeah, so I'll be putting the new and improved ones. My goal is to try to get it done. So I guess I have to put it in again, which is fine. It's fine. It's all right. I can't control it, right? As long as it's there and you guys are able to use it. Tell better. All right. You have a great night too, Olivia. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. So if there are... Yeah, I know. I definitely have to because that means I have to get up at the butt crack of dawn. Just so I can make sure I can come home and get a shower in my own house. It's crazy. Welcome to my world. But it's okay. Everything's good. Thank you. For praxis, I mean, not to steal money out of my own pocket, because you're going to need a collection. So if anything, you could probably look at book 3. Book 3, yeah, because you got the factoring in there, the adding, and then you also have some of the probability. So wait, which praxis is it? Is the first one and what level? Let's put it that way, because I never asked that part. So for 6th grade, 5733. So yeah, you can do either book 3. I think book 3 would be a good bet for you. Either book 3. If you want to do 1, try book 3. Okay. Yep, not a problem. Not a problem. And if you guys ever want to say, let's sit down, let's look over some stuff, and then so we can figure out what areas you might need more improvement on, just let me know. And then we can do just a small tutoring session. And then just figure out where you are. Are you going in the right direction? And if you do need a sample test, I will do a mock test because I've done the mock test before. It's over for right now, but I can bring it up again for people in the fall. That I have a couple of tests that you can actually sit down, do 35 questions. We time you, and at the end, go over those questions. So just let me know if you're interested in that. Okay. With fractions and graphing them. Okay. Yeah, just reach out. If anything, just DM me. Even though maybe we're friends, we're not friends or whatever. But I always check the request section. So now that I know it's there. And if anything, just message me and send me a small message. Don't just say hi. yeah, I delete those just in case. Okay. With the fractions and the graphing, yes. The ultimate one is just the notebook. So what you'll get is the references. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. Alrighty, everyone. Well, for the 65 that are still hanging on, thank you. I appreciate you. Is there any more questions? Okay, so again, if you need me for like private services, or if you're thinking about courses, or if you want to get more information with the GED, or maybe some more tactics on how to approach the test, it doesn't even matter what test it is. Okay, sometimes you don't have to sit and memorize everything. You really don't. Okay. But if you do have questions before you do any kind of purchases, yeah, please reach out. I appreciate the time that you guys have given me. All right. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. All right. Alrighty. Well, have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow at, and wait, hold on. Yes, tomorrow is Thursday, so I will see you tomorrow at 9:30. Okay, I'm probably going to be doing system of equations, just to kind of brush up on that, and I'm going to see if I can also add systems of inequalities, so we can definitely get that shading down, because that for GED is definitely a 4-point question. I don't want anyone to miss out. Anyone to miss out. Okay? All right. Okay, everyone, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow evening. All right, take care. Bye now.